Arsenal definitely need attacking options in January. Who should we sign? Unbiased Sports here, and today I thought let me change it up again and let's talk about some targets that Arsenal should be looking to sign in January. Now, I know January is a long time away and the summer window's not long closed. We're only 8 games into the season, but it's international break, and you know what that means. What I always say, it's the no one gives a fuck break. None of us like international breaks, you know, and if you do, I don't trust you. Shout out my boy Albie. He seems to love it. He supports Italy. He doesn't support a club. But yeah, listen, I'm going to go through a few targets that I think Arsenal should look into. I'm not saying sign all of them. I've only got 3 in today's video. I might do another one with some more. But these are 3 that I've seen us linked to. And I'd also not mind any of these players at Arsenal. So we're going to start with the one for me that's probably the most unrealistic, although who knows. I thought if you asked me 2 years ago, my hair is fucked. If you asked me 2 years ago if you asked me a year ago if Declan Rice was on the table to Arsenal, I'd have called you nuts and said there's no way in hell we'll be able to get Declan Rice. But yeah, I've also left Ferguson off this list before people go, Ferguson. For me, Ferguson is no way he's going anywhere in January, and I just think the price they'll want for him will be too much. But going on to this first player, talking about price, Victor Osimhen from Napoli. Now, I would have said there weren't a chance in hell of Arsenal getting him. I still don't think there is in January. But the whole thing that come out with the craziness that Napoli put out on their TikTok and stuff from here is nuts. But that happening and all this stuff means you don't know, man. There's a pathway, and Osimhen said that he'd love to play for Arsenal. That he's a huge fan of Arsenal. He's always admired Arsenal from young, even though he's still fucking young. He's only 24 years old. So yeah, listen, they value him at about 120 million. Now that in itself, we're not paying that in January. Let's be real, we're not paying that in January. But that's what Transfermarkt has him at, and that's in euros. So they'll probably want around 100 million pounds, should we say, 110 million, something like that. But now this has happened, could they be willing to take a cut price deal if he pushes the move? Because right now he might not be kicking up a fuss, but if he hears Arsenal are interested, maybe he'll go back and be like, remember what you done on TikTok, mate, and push a move out. Now listen, his stats speak for themselves. He's unreal. Even this season, I'm going to go off stats of like last season, because I think that's a full season to look at. It's only been a bit of this season. But even this season, 8 games, 6 goals. He's a goal machine, you know. He's athletic, he's tall, he's fast, he's agile. He's dangerous. His ceiling's high. There's a lot about this guy to like, man. But even last season, if we go into last season, right, everyone knows how good he was. Napoli won the league thanks to him. 32 games in the Serie A, 26 goals and 5 assists. That is literally 1 less than a goal contribution every single game. And in the Champions League, in 6 games, he scored 5 goals. He pretty much had a goal contribution in every single game he played last year, and if it wasn't for him, Napoli wouldn't have won the league. Champions League, obviously, they went out, but don't forget they also battered Liverpool in the group stage of the Champions League last year. Liverpool didn't have a great season, but still, to batter Liverpool's always tough. So listen, for me, Osimhen would be a great player for the club, and to me, he might be on the top of my list. Him and joint with the next person I'll be going on to. But listen, there's not much else to say, but he's quality. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of Victor Osimhen. Going on to my next target, Ivan Toney. Now, this one's really picked up steam, and I feel like this will probably be the signing Arsenal get through the door in January, if I'm being honest. He's a quality player. Premier League proven. The only problem with Victor Osimhen is he hasn't done it in the Premier League yet. I do think he will, but I've seen players as good as him, maybe even better than him, come to the Premier League and foul. So you've always got to have that little worry in you when signing a player. But Ivan Toney at Brentford delivers. Now, people want to always say about he scores a lot of pens. He's a pen machine, the best penalty taker in the league, in my opinion. And now Harry Kane's gone, he's definitely the best penalty taker in the league. So at the end of the day, a penalty is a goal. I hate this thing of penalties. I get it when you only score penalties. Say you got 10 goals in the season and they're all penalties. That I get. But he scores goals and he puts away penalties. He is a quality player. He's big. He's strong. He's a nightmare. He's a nightmare for defenders. Any team. I remember watching him. He should have had a hat-trick against Man City last season. He is a machine, this guy. I love him. I fucking love him. And he's valued at, on Transfermarkt, he's valued at 35 million. But we know they're never taking 35 million for him. They're taking listen, they'll probably want about 60 million. They're saying they want 60 million. Maybe pushing towards 80 million. I think Arsenal could get him done. For me, I would be willing to take him. I'd be willing to offer Eddie Nketiah the other way to smooth over the deal. If we could get him for 40 million plus Eddie Nketiah, I would 100% do that. Now listen, last season, 33 games played, 20 goals, 4 assists in the Premier League. You can't deny it. In Brentford. He ain't playing for Napoli, he ain't playing for Arsenal, he ain't playing for Man United or Chelsea or Chelsea or shit, but or City or this. He's playing for Brentford and he's putting away them stats. He's unreal. Listen, for me, Ivan Toney's the guy. He's the guy that Arsenal need to bring in. He makes sense money-wise, cost-wise, like what we need in a striker. He ticks every single box. I think in January, he's going to come back with a point to prove. I really do. I think in January, he's going to have missed the half a season due to the gambling. And then he's going to come back with a point to prove. And if Arsenal sign him and put their faith into him, then I mean, he might even repay us by helping us win the league. You never know. Listen, Ivan Toney, come for a nice kick about with the boys. You know what I mean? Like that would be amazing. That would be an amazing. If we sign Ivan Toney in January, how amazing would the intro video be when he's texting Gabriel Magalhaes saying, "Kick about with the boys?" ? And he replies, and then they meet at the fucking training pitch and they're having a kick. That would be sick. Ivan Toney to Arsenal. Come on, I want that one. And last but not least, a player that I'm a real huge fan of. He's a young player. He's quality. He can be a backup to Saka and he can push Saka. This ain't a striker. I would like to sign this guy alongside Ivan Toney in January personally. And that's Pedro Neto. He's had his injury problems, yes. I feel a bit sorry for him, to be honest. He's had a few injury problems. But if I'm being honest with you, he's a quality player. You see it when he plays. He's naturally quality, mate. Yeah, you can just see. And in a team like Arsenal, because he's in Wolves, they're not great attacking. Bring him to Arsenal, I think he is a menace. And he'll push Saka. And if Saka has a poor game, he'll take Saka's place. Not to say Saka will be dropped or anything, but like the next game, Saka might not be in the starting 11. That's the level I think this guy's at. This season so far, 8 games, 1 goal, 5 assists. But he's in Wolves and they don't score a lot of goals. And he's still got 6 goal contributions in 8 games. He's been quality this season. He can play across the front 3. So he's versatile. Yeah, we know Arsenal love the word versatile. He's 23 years old. Not long turned 23. He turned it in March. So he's got a while till he's 24. Listen, Pedro Neto for me, quality player that I'd bring into the club. And they value him at about 32 million. You'll probably be able to get him for 40. I reckon for 100 million in January, set a budget 100 million, you would get Ivan Toney and Neto done with 100 million. And I think that would be a beautiful transfer window. Now, would I take Osimhen for 100 million? I don't know. I'd have to sit back and think about that. Osimhen for 100 million or Ivan Toney and Neto for 100 million. I don't know what I'd go with. It's tough, but you guys let me know below in the comments who you'd go for, who you think we should sign. If I missed anyone out that you think gets above these, remember Ferguson, that's for another video. That's a summer signing. But listen, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment below all your thoughts, what you think we should sign. As I said, I'll be involved with a lot more content in the coming weeks. I'm going to have a lot more, I'm going to be doing a lot more stuff with guests and with other people. I don't always want to say guests because it's a bit of a two-way thing. It's not me, it's like them and me, helping each other grow, all that good stuff. Listen, I'm Bias Sports. I'm out. Peace.